Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the Dream Mirror archetype. So I end up liking every TCG archetype, it seems. I like Noble Knights, I like Spirals, I like Subterrors, I like Dangers. Just so many I end up wanting to pick up like it's a crack addiction. And first set, I was not too enticed by this one, but in the second set, it showed some form of playability, and now I do like it. So, this is my review of the Dream Mirror archetype. It will be going over the old cards and the new cards. We'll be going over that briefly, and then getting into my analysis, what I think of the deck. Is it strong? Is it weak? Can it make a better impact? The answer is no, but still we'll talk about that, and really we'll talk about what they maybe need from the next few sports. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoy the video. So going over release cards, I have them right here, so I'll just be reading them off. Yes, I bought them in real life. I may have regrets later. So starting off, we have Ikelos, the Dream Mirror Sprite. It is a level 1 light fairy effect monster with 0 attack, 500 defense, and an effect reads: if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can add 1 Dream Mirror card from your deck to your hand except himself. During the main phase or battle phase, if a Dream Mirror of Terror is in the field zone, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special 1 Ikelos Dream Mirror from the deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this card, there's 2 field spells, we'll read that pretty soon. But pretty much, if you have a light one and you have the dark field spell, you can swap out into the dark one for the dark field spell. That's kind of how the mechanic works. And they get effect when they're special summoned by their counterpart pretty much. Or they can get special summoned by, other effects of them. But yeah, that's how they basically work. This one is the Searcher, so it's probably one of the better ones. Then we have its counterpart, Ikelos, the Dream Mirror Mara. It is a dark level 1 fairy effect with mirrored stats. That's one thing to know. They will have mirrored stats. So this one is 500 attack, 0 defense. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, special summon 1 Dream Mirror monster from your hand except himself. During the main or battle phase, if Dream Mirror Joy is in the field zone, quick effect, tribute this card, special summon 1 Ikelos Dream Mirror from the deck. You can only use 1 of this card's effects per turn. So this one's special from hand. Honestly, pretty good if you did end up getting hand advantage. A little bit later, it's not that great, but still for a counterpart, it's definitely very useful. Then there is Morpheus, Dream Mirror White Knight. It is a light level 8 warrior effect with 1000 attack and 28 defense. If this card is special summoned by effect of Dream Mirror monster, you can activate this effect. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn. During the main phase or battle phase, if Dream Mirror Terror is in the field zone, quick effect, tribute this card, special summon Morpheus, the Dream Mirror Black Knight from the deck. You can only use each effect per turn. So this one sucks ass. It really sucks ass. The protection effect really isn't good, so I cut it out completely. But the counterpart is okay. It is Morpheus, the Dream Mirror Black Knight. A dark level 8 warrior effect, 28 attack, 8,000 defense. And if this card is special summoned by effect of Dream Mirror monster, target 1 card on the field, destroy it. During main or battle phase of Dream Mirror in the field zone, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon 1 Morpheus, the Dream Mirror White Knight from the deck. You can only use each effect per turn. So, stag out target's awful, but on summon it is a Trident. I wish, they have effects when they, stay on the field, but you get what you get and you don't get upset. Definitely okay, especially since you can summon it off Mira. That's only really the way of summoning it. But, pretty good. Then we're going into the field zones that we've talked about. Dream Mirror Joy. During the end phase, you can banish this card Activate one Dream Mirror Terror directly from the hand or deck. You will use this effect once per turn. And Dream Mirror monsters you control cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects or their monster's attacks except the one with the highest level. You can only use each effect. You can. This is only applied when you have a light Dream Mirror monster on the field. So, don't know why it's like highest level. It's like, okay, we're just going to be picking through the highest level anyways. And it doesn't offer protection for the biggest card in the archetype. It kind of sucks. If it has to go over to lower levels, like, alright, attack the little one. It's like, fair enough. You know? I was going to put in defense, and it protects it. But nope, it's the opposite way around. It's like, but you know, fine. Then there's Dream Mirror of Terror. During the end phase, you can banish this card. Activate one Dream Mirror of Joy directed from a hand or deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Each time your opponent special summons a monster, inflict 300 damage to your opponent. It's only applied while you have a Dark Dream Mirror monster. I guess it's okay. Effect to have, like, burned can become useful, you know, in time. Just summon this and be like, summon a light and like, okay, you want a special summon, go and get burned. You know, so that's an interesting part of it. But it isn't that great. It's just, you know, the Dream Mirror name. Last card within this wave is Dream Mirror Fantasy, a trap card. If you control a Dream Mirror monster, target one each for your banished Dream Mirror Joy and Dream Mirror Terror. Shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, banish one card on the field. And its grave effect, if a Dream Mirror card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. So pretty good, can be trap tricked out, and you know, since you can tag out, you can just go tag and then tag, so you have two banished and you still have the field spell you had before. So honestly, it's pretty good. It was probably the best disrupt they had. Still, you'd only really play it for trap check target because we get a better trap. With this wave of support in the first set, it didn't function. But with the new stuff that came out, it actually put up a little bit of a fight. So, starting off with their first card in the new wave is Orkanos, the Dream Mirror Urkling, which is a light level 10 fairy fusion effect. So, it takes two Dream Mirror monsters with different attributes, and while this card is face up on the field, it is also Dark attribute, which sucks ass. Just makes it even easier to use it for a super poly target. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. Its attack is 3k, 3k. So, if another monster you control is created, except during damage step, you can target one card on the field. Destroy it. Okay, so it's a little destruction, which is pretty good. And if this card in our possession is destroyed by opponent's card, you can special summon one Dream Mirror monster from your graveyard, except this card. Pretty good. It's just, it can't be recycled, which kind of sucks, you know, but for fusion, it's okay. I wish it also used tag out mechanics, because that would be pretty cool to see, you know, tag out into like other extra deck thing. Like, it could have been other fusion, or it could have been like you synchro summon for it, and then you can like use an effect to make it into XYZ, and the XYZ can make it back into the synchro. That would have been dope. Wish they kind of used it here, but you know, whatever. This is pretty cool. Maybe they can do it in next waves, but you know, this does okay. We got two more monsters. So we have Phantos, the Dream Mirror Fend, a light level 4 Beast Warrior effect. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can target one blade or lower in your graveyard. Special summon it. So, recycling, pretty nice. And during main or battle phase, you can use its effect Tribute to tag out into Phantos, the Dream Mirror Fiend. So, pretty good. Foe, my bad. And you can only use each effect per turn. Pretty good. 919. So, definitely not bad. It lets you recycle things, which the deck did not let you do. But, onto its mirror form. Phantos Dream Mirror Foe. A dark level 4 Beast Warrior effect. 900. If it is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, this card can attack directly this turn. That's an absolute disappointment. During main phase of battle phase, if you have Dream Mirror Joy, you can tribute it and special summon the other one, which is probably the best part about this card. And you can only use that effect once per turn. So, solid, but, you know, whatever. Now we're getting into spells and traps, which kind of where really helps the archetype. We have Dream Mirror's Phantasms, a continuous spell. When this card is activated, you can add a Dream Mirror monster from your deck to your hand. We got a tanky, boys. We got a tanky. It's only for monsters, which, if it was for spells and traps, oh my god, this card would save the archetype immediately. Make it 10 times better, but it isn't. It just helps you, you know, have at least a good one in your hand, which, you know, sometimes can be a problem. So, you know, pretty good. You'll play it at 3. And its second effect while on the field. If a Dream Mirror Joy is in the field zone, all monsters your opponent controls gain 500 attack. You control gain 500 attack defense, and the opposite is true for Terror, where your opponent's cards lose 500 attack defense. Okay, for getting over stuff, it'll be annoying because it's like your thing's now 1,000 more. You get 1,000 difference, so something being 28, it's more like 38 feeling, so, you know, pretty cool. There's Dream Mirror of Chaos. It is a quick play. It's a fusion spell. So fusion summon one Dream Mirror fusion monster from your extra deck by using monsters you control as fusion material. If you have Joy in a field spell, you can use monsters from your hand. If you have Terror in a field spell, you can use monsters from your graveyard. So yeah, pretty good. It lets you use from everywhere if you have all the field spells up, which, yes, it's possible you can have multiple field spells up. You'll see in a second. So, you know, pretty good for a fusion. If it offered a little bit more advantage, that would be better, but, you know, we can't have nice things. The card that made this archetype somewhat playable, Dream Mirror HYPNAGOGIA, can't pronounce it, whatever, is a normal trap, and you can choose one Dream Mirror Joy and one Dream Mirror Terror from your hand or deck. Place one in your field zone and the other in your opponent's field zone. You can only activate one of this card per turn. Makes your deck unslow. Because it was slow because you'd have to wait for the other field spell. It's like, why would... No, this sucks. But now it's like, hey, you don't have to wait. You just put them to. Hopefully your opponent doesn't, like, plays a diagram over and like, yeah, nah. Because that would suck. But you can use it to force off their diagram. And you're like, no, get rid of it. So that is a useful thing. It's like, hey, you can get rid of field spells with it. But also you can place your own, which means all your stuff can activate. So it makes your deck playable. Still, you can only search it by specialing on Kalos, using a Dream Mirror effect, or by Trap Trick. Otherwise you have to play it. So it's like, the consistency is a little off, especially for such a power card it really is. Also, it can't do anything if you don't really have a monster, but whatever. That's not the point. Consistency for this is going to be key. Making sure stuff stays up is going to be key in, you know, helping out this archetype. But this card was probably the best step they've had in making Dream Mirrors. The last card is a counter trap, Dream Mirror Omniromancy. I don't know. You can activate one of these effects. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control Dream Mirror Joy, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it. Or, when your opponent would special summon a monster while the Dream Mirror Terror is in your field zone, negate the summon if you do destroy it. So, it negates summons. It negates spell and traps. You just have to have both field zones. So, pretty good. You don't even have to control a monster, which is something that kind of sucks about the one from the first set. You'd have to control Dream Mirror. It's like, I'm already in a losing situation most of the time. It's like, we don't need to be stipulated as much. Just have the field zone, you're good. So, you gotta like it. That's it for the cards I had to go over. Now, onto my review on the entire archetype. So, for my overall thoughts on the Dream Mirror archetype, is it good? Is it bad? Will it do anything? So let's just start off. They don't do much. I wish they did. Again, it's a deck I do want to play and try to make as good as possible, but they don't have too many plays. They have a good amount of target pop. Enough. You know, just enough, but they don't really have a lot of unique ways of removal. Some cards are way too limited. Everything's just dependent on stuff. Every monster is dependent on having the field spell, and if you don't have just field spells and no monsters, you have just about nothing. So, like, it's already open to, like, bricking, because you have to play 3 of each field spell. So, technically, you could open 3 field spells, or 4, or 5. You can brick like that, but will that come up? No. And it doesn't get a lot of resources that you wish it would. It's a card that really takes advantage of a card like Pot of Extravagance. You don't really need the extra deck. You can play 3 of the fusion and it'd be perfectly fine. You're not dependent on it in any type of way. So you could just play Pot of Extravagance. But for all you broke people like me who can't play 200 for a play set of draw cards, it's not reasonable and it kind of sucks. That is probably the best way to play it. I do suggest anyone who's trying to play Dream Mirrors who is on a budget, I would go for a card-wise heavy back row build. That's just my opinion there. Cut certain things like the White Morpheus. Just don't care about them at all. Yeah, so that's my suggestion to you guys. Budget, but there's a lot of like things that just don't work together. Again, if you open multiples, it sucks. You kind of just want to get one and just never see the rest and have them just be in deck. Honestly, you wish you can grab them when you want them. You want to have very select hands. It's like, I want this, I want this. It's almost never going to happen. There's also no recurability. There's no grind game for this deck. Like, it runs through its stuff ridiculously fast. It doesn't have good ways of recruiting its field spells. Setup for things sucks. Again, this deck is very dependent on the trap card that's pretty much a set rotation. It is so good. It makes the deck actually something that can win games instead of try to win games. Like, you're not slowed down. You can activate everything assuming you have viable targets in deck. That's the thing. You'll lose targets in deck pretty quickly. If you want to play Demise build, you're going to lose the targets pretty quick. It's the reason why you can't play Desires. It's like, you know, you have to have the targets in deck. If you draw multiple, it sucks. It's very situational, the hands you want. If you do get like a good hand, it's like that one thing, you got the thing that sets up the stuff, you're good. Like, you're actually properly functioning as a deck. But most of the time, it kind of just sucks being a Dream Mirror player. There's just no recurability. It doesn't have a good fighting potential. It does have a good beat over potential because you can make something 35k and beat over Tyranno easily. That's something to not scoff at least. Still, Borosword gets over anything, but still, everything else you can actually beat over if you have stuff big enough. It's pretty good to look at. So, that's one thing that's okay. They do need to add a lot of stuff, like being able to get through a board, being able to speed up quicker to really get their plays going because they're way too slow. You know, it's a stun deck, but it doesn't have enough stuff that properly stuns the opponent. It really just lets you function, but it's a stun deck. It's not combo. It's very weird because it can combo off when it's going through its stuff. You got everything, at least one of everything. You can start going into everything, but as a like just combo sense, it's also very stunning. You just want to have a bunch of resources, just go through stuff. So yeah, I'm going to show a list probably for a few seconds of what my Dream Mirror build looks like. I really like this archetype, and I really hope that in the 2 sets of support we get some nice things. Maybe the OCG really helps us out, because OCG gave some okay danger support. Spells and trap wise, so you know, that's pretty shocking. But they did that, and maybe they could do it for Dream Mirrors. They could fix them up or something. But hopefully they can make it very playable within the next 2 sets. Make it something that definitely isn't winning a regional, but can easily bubble. And that's something I would just like to see, because from right now it struggles even in like online rogue matchups. It's kind of sad. Again, some things they may need, you know, extra searches for the field. That would be cool, like pendulum scales that you can put on. They like get you resources, like they can set up. Pretty much it's like, let's say this one's the Joy one, this one's the Terra one. The Terra one can just put from like deck or graveyard or banish zone, whatever. Just put it onto yours or your opponent's and have a light one do the same thing. That would be interesting. Again, easier searching. If we just got a spell that said search for anything, that would be great. That would be great, because we're always going to be searching for that trap card, because that trap card is so good. I think more stunny back row would be very useful, like have its form of impermanence, like all the staple back row, make it but for Dream Mirrors. I think that would just be cool to have. Monsters, the lineup's pretty good. Maybe some stuff that, you know, less depends on having a mirror side, or just make both mirror sides very, very good. Very, very playable. I don't know, something that just summons from deck would be really good. I know they mechanically want to summon from deck themselves and mirror out in that way, but being able to summon from deck would be very, very good. Summoning for banish, that's pretty good. Deck or banish, just make that. That'd be very useful. Honestly, getting just more stuff would be very helpful to be able to choose what you want to do with the deck. Again, they need ways to speed it up and get more resources. That's why I made a carded buys build, because it helps you get a lot of resources for pretty much free. So yeah, that's how I kind of hope, you know, they support it in the stun way, because that's how I could see it best getting supported. They just need some pretty broken stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you liked, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you did enjoy. I also have a Discord server where I post updates about what's happening, give previews to what content I'll be releasing, and make exclusive videos for you guys. So if you have the time, you can go check that out, link in the description. Thank you.